Hey, hey, hey. Good morning. Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey,
How are
get your
you?
little energy up this morning.
Hello.
Yes. All right. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, Stacie.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well. I'm up. I'm
Yeah.
awake.
You're up, you're awake,
I
looking
think.
gorgeous and beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. You the same
Yes.
too. I can barely see myself, but it's good. It's good.
Wait, because of the camera or because the eyes are still focusing?
Because of the phone, like I didn't realize I could only use my mobile device to go live with you.
Yeah, we'll talk about this a little bit because I know you are like the queen of some of the technology and social media stuff. So we'll have to dig into that later because I know you have a particular way of going live on
Yeah.
different channels.
Yeah.
So this one is through just through the app, through the native app. So we're gonna see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah. So I'm all tiny. Like I have like 2 screens set up, ready to be on my computers and stuff. And it said, no, you need a
Oh no.
mobile device. I was like, okay.
Yeah. So so we can do this from our mobile devices. I'm still learning, so you'll have to give me some tips on joining from the laptop itself, right?
Yes.
But one of the things that I'm going to do while we're here is I am going to go live real quick on Instagram at the same time
Yeah.
on my other device because we're making the switch, right? Normally I would do this on Instagram,
Right.
but because we're switching, I want to go live and let the people know to come over here and watch us over here because it's going to be much more fun.
Okay.
So give me 2 seconds to pull that up and get the folks on. In the meantime, I see you have a mug. We're going to have to work on getting you one of these.
Yes, ma'am. Do you see this mug though? Can you see it?
Oh, how cute. Where did you find that?
Bet I always get them mixed up. One of them B stores, but the one that's for the not the Bath and Body, the Bed
Bed
Bath
Bath,
Beyond.
Bed Bath and Beyond. They're back, right?
I don't know. I've had this for a while. I saw it just sitting there randomly. I was like, even though it's knit, but it's still fiber based. But that's dope, right?
Right. Absolutely. Knit is allowed. Knit is allowed. Do you knit at all?
I can knit. I think
Okay.
learned how to knit first, but that stuff takes too long, and it's and you got to pay attention. Like you got to really pay attention when you're knitting.
Yes, you
I mean,
do.
not that you don't pay attention when you're crocheting, but you can allow for some fudgicles, fudgings in crochet. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you can. It don't have to be 100% perfect in
Yeah,
certain types of stitches. So,
this is
and
true. All right,
crochet
well,
just
let me let the people on Instagram know where we are and what we're doing. Hey, Instagram. Yes, Freshville, you missed the theme song because we're over on YouTube. So come on over to YouTube. I'm only going live here to let y'all know to come over to YouTube, BzyPeach's YouTube. So Freshville, if you pop up over there, I'll run it back for you for sure. I'll play the theme song again for y'all for sure.
gotta
Um,
get into the groove. Yes.
that's right. That's right. And so just make the switch. I'm typing it in here, and I'm going to pin this comment on Instagram real quick, and that way you guys will know to come and see me over there. Okay. So I'm gonna put this up here so y'all can hang out and listen for a few minutes, but then you got to switch over to YouTube. So
Yes. YouTube.
Yes. Okay, so good morning.
Good morning.
We have a special guest today. I'm super excited to have this special guest. But you've been on Shenanigans before. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Time
It's,
moves so fast, though.
it does. It really does because I think I can say now I've known you for about 5, almost 6 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
5. Yeah. Which is like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay,
I know, right?
so while I called you Stacie when we first popped on, introduce yourself to the Saturday morning Shenanigans crew.
Okay. Hello, SMS Crew. My name is Stacie Jackson. I am the designer over at Pink Joy Crochets, and I produce Strands, the premier crochet fashion show, the one that started the frenzy of fashion shows in the fiber arts world. So, yeah, that's who I am. Strands. See, there you go.
I love it. I love it. I was like, okay, look, she got the neon going. We got
Yes.
we got the theme going.
Yes, yes,
I,
yes, yes.
I love
Yep.
it. Okay. So I think I found out about Strands not too long after I moved to Atlanta.
Mhm.
Being in in a Facebook group, I ran across somebody's post and I think the garment that the model had on, it was a picture from the Strands show. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then you were also hosting Hookers Nights Out.
Yes. Oh, yes. Let me not forget about Hooker's Night Out.
Well,
So, yeah,
that's where I met you. Like that was the first time I met you live in person. So
right.
tell everybody about like how did that come about? What are Hookers Nights Out? Like what is that all about?
Okay, well, let me go back. It started in 2017 with my very first crochet event, which was Hooks, Whips, and Chains, which was kind of like a little like Vogue knitting, but on a way smaller scale. We had vendors and um, sessions where you can learn how to crochet or learn how to make a pattern and whatnot. So
Okay.
it's just an all crochet everything type of festival. I haven't done it again until March 23rd coming up. So we're gonna have our next one on March 23rd at the Southwest Art Center. So
Okay.
be ready for that. So it started off with hooks, whips, and chains, and I realized that us crocheters, like there's a huge community of hookers. There's so many of us, especially ones that look like
Mhm.
us, right? Um,
Yes.
so I decided there's all these and sip events going on. So I figured, okay, well, we can have a crochet and sip. And
Mhm.
what better name is there than Hooker's Night Out? So Hooker's Night Out was born. And so it's a crochet and sip event that knitters are invited to, but it's all about us hookers. And that's the other thing. I wanted to focus more on the crochet community as opposed to the knitting community because in the fiber arts world, crocheters are looked at as almost second class citizens. It seems like knitters seem to get all the kudos and all the everything is directed toward knitters. Even the yarn stores are directed toward knitters and their types of yarn that they use. They don't focus really on the types of yarn that us crocheters use. So
Mhm.
being a second class citizen in a second class citizenship type of situation.
We're gonna change that today. We're gonna change that statement
Exactly.
today. But go ahead.
Right. All of that. So I'm bringing us out of that and, trying to make it have a focus and a forefront on crocheting. So Hooker's Night Out was born so that we can have community and learn about things that help our crochet businesses and our skills. Like
Okay.
we'll talk about photography, tips and techniques to market your business online and just different little things, and then we play
Mm.
games and have fun and talk mess about the knitters and just all kinds of stuff. I didn't want it to be that way, but knitters tend to always look down on crocheters, and it's like, what? Why? So
Oh my gosh. Lord have mercy. All right. Well, we're gonna get into that. But I see that one of my Barbie babes, right? John, he popped up. What's up, John? I told him on Instagram if he came over and brought some other folks with him. He brought some folks because some other folks popped in. We're gonna do a quick run back on the theme song, and then we're gonna get into this. Like, we're gonna give the details of the show, and then we're gonna get into this conversation about knitters and crocheters. I didn't know if we were gonna go there today, but I like where this is going. So, y'all, listen, if you just popped in because you came from Instagram, come on. Get your energy out. Let's get ready for this conversation.
we're talking mess today.
Talking mess
Sorry.
today. Talking, look, a little tea.
Yes. Yeah, we're sipping our tea today.
So that first event, that wasn't your first, but my first hookers night out was amazing. I loved it. So I had a little table. I had started publishing my journals. And I don't even know where I have them. They're somewhere over here. Oh, they're over there. I started publishing my journals, and I had a photo booth set up so people could take pictures of the stuff that they were creating. I didn't know if that was going to be a thing or not, but it turned, a couple people did. And I had a yarn winding station, so if people needed their yarn wound. I met Angie, the traveling yarn yogi, for the first time. Met you for the first time.
She just started that, I think, the week before that event. Yep.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she had just put Pearl on the road, and I was excited because I had seen the before and after pictures of Pearl on Facebook. Yes, and Yolanda is in the crowd. Ion
Yes.
Stone Flowers. That was the first time I met. Let me tell you, I was like, this pretty lady was over there. She had on a full length granny square cardigan, right? To the floor. She had her hair in the fro with the
Yep.
afro, with the pit. Hold on, this was her. This was her. Hold on. Look, this was her that day.
Yes.
So look at this lady. What in the world? I was like, okay. And yeah, so that's the first time I met Yolanda. You had a bartender, right? So we had little sips. You had food. We
Yep.
hung out for how long was it? It was a couple of hours.
About 3 hours.
3
From 6 to
hours.
9. What better hours for a hooker's night out? From 6
Right?
to 9.
Exactly. Right at dusk. So you can still see what's going on, but it's still a little mysterious. Yeah, and it was fun. You talked about social media, you talked about scheduling your post, planning your post. We had fiber art contests, crocheting contests. It was a great night.
Yes. And then COVID happened and
It
just,
did.
wrecked shop on everybody's everything.
But you pivoted just like everybody else, and we did one online.
Hookers night in.
Hookers night in.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
So, we'll tell us a little bit about what's coming up and
Okay.
what the people are going to see coming up in March, and then we'll dive into this conversation about knitters and crocheters a little bit.
Let me grab something real fast.
Okay. Yep.
Okay,
Grab
so
what you need.
we got flyers.
Yes.
All right, so first coming up is the opening of the Strands exhibit, the third year for our crochet exhibit. So I am still looking for a few designers to hang some pieces at the Southwest Art Center. And that exhibit will be up from March 11th to March 25th, the day after the Strands event. Our reception for that is March 16th.
Okay. Okay.
In the studio building, which gets a lot of traffic. So
Wait, so when
Okay, so
which side is
when
that?
we had okay, so the show is in the theater, and there's a gallery in the theater.
Right.
In the lobby,
Right.
right? And then in the building where we had Hookers Night Out, that's the studio building.
Ah,
So that's where all the classes are that they teach all week, which I teach class there Wednesday nights, crochet class at Southwest Art Center. Session started. Sign up is now. But where all the classes are taught. So we'll be hung in that building. Right now there's a quilt show going on. And if you can get down there, there's some amazing quilts that are lining the hallways of the Southwest Art Center. But we'll be replacing that quilt show come March 11th. So we'll have fiber arts on display, fiber arts fashion on display,
mhm.
and at the Southwest Art Center. So that's March 11th through March 25th. The reception being Friday. I think that's a Friday, March 16th.
Yeah, I think so.
And then Strands, the show is March 24th, the Sunday. But on Saturday, we're going to have a Meet the Designers Hooks, Whips, and Chains event for vendors to come vend, and we're going to have a small little mini preview show for like about 10 minutes that'll be free and open to the public.
Okay,
So
so that's on the
yeah,
23rd. On Saturday,
yeah,
the 23rd.
yes, I know I said that all backwards, but yeah.
No,
So
you're okay.
Saturday the
No, you're good.
23rd we are having Hooks, Whips, and Chains and Meet the Designers, Strands Meet the Designers event.
Okay, gotcha.
Bro, don't tell me what time. Ask me what time it starts. I think it's gonna start about 2 o'clock. Just go to fiberartsfashion.com
Yes.
by Monday, and it'll be all updated. So
Yes, and I pinned the Ola Joe, thank you ma'am, our newest moderator and fabulous YouTuber. If you're not following her, make sure you follow her. Is she put the link. So I pinned that. So if you're watching this live, you can see it. If you're catching the replay, it's in the description. So make sure that you go.
okay, so yeah, so
Okay.
here's the show. The mosaic motifs. We have a theme this year, mosaic motifs. So these designers and me are coming with some motifs this year. It's a little challenging.
Mm.
So we got 12 designers. We got UB Handmade, Renee France Designs, Ava Rose Creations, Double Stitch Twins, Coretti Ann Designs, Stay by Stacie Angela, Stringfellow Crochets, Plush Funk, and Mommy Made It, Butterfly Wear. I can't even see these. And PLRG Creations and Pink Joy Crochets.
Yes.
So we got
Okay.
12 whole designers coming from all over the country to participate in
Mm.
our 6th year of events. Yeah, our
Mhm.
6th year.
That's amazing. Okay, so I heard some new names in there, and then some other names that I
Yes.
recall, but you got a lot of new people.
Yes. So I try to mix it up with some old people and some new people because I got my vets that have been with me since the beginning. But
Mhm.
yeah, this year new we have Ava Rose Creations,
Okay.
PLRG Creations, Mommy Made It, and Stringfellow Crochet. Double Stitch Twins are newish in that they did the fall show at the Sweet Auburn Music Festival, but they haven't been on the Strand stage in March.
The
So,
the double stitch twins.
mhm,
Listen, when I
yeah,
first started finding all this other fiber art stuff when I came to Atlanta, I was like, oh, we got like select like the double stitch twins. They doing red heart stuff. Like what? What? Like who are
yes,
they?
yes,
So
right.
that's exciting.
So actually, one of my very first fashion pieces is from a pattern that they wrote. And I got to show them. I was like, look, I made this from your pattern.
I
um,
love it.
Courtney was there. Courtney Whitehead of Creations by Courtney was there to do the show at the Sweet Auburn Music Festival, and she's so fangirled over them.
Oh, I know that was too cute. I know
She
that was
brought her
too
books,
cute.
had them sign them, and everything. So it was very cute. It was a
Mm,
really great day. So, and I'm actually interviewing them today on the Strands Meet the Designers series over on my YouTube page and all the Instagrams, all the social media platforms. It's
yes.
the Double Stitch Twins and Rhonda Davis of Plush Funk. So
Okay.
they'll be on with me live at 11:30 to this morning.
Okay. Okay. And you said here on YouTube also, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Okay, quick segue.
Yes, ma'am.
So you use and tell me if you're willing to share or not. But you use some software to help you go live in multiple places.
Yes.
What do you use if you're
It's
willing to
Oh,
disclose?
absolutely. It's StreamYard.
Okay. So StreamYard has added Instagram because I know they weren't doing that at
Yes.
first.
They do have Instagram so that you can go live on Instagram, Facebook, on your business page and your personal page. Right. And what's the other one? YouTube and a couple other ones that I don't use, like Twitch or something else. Let me check real quick. Um,
Probably Twitch. That would make sense because
let me-
they're heavy on streaming.
I guess I better get into some twitching then, huh?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting thing. I set up an account over there. Someone was talking about it maybe 2 years ago. I set
Mhm,
up an account, and there are some crochet artists over there. Like there was this one guy, I don't know if he still streams, but his name was Eggy Bean, and he would
mhm.
sit and crochet little amigurumi figures while and stream it. And so it's
Okay.
pretty cool. And he would talk and chat and give the little hearts and love. And I was like,
Yeah, so on StreamYard you can go live on your Facebook page, your Facebook group, your Facebook profile, LinkedIn page, and LinkedIn.
hmm, okay.
As well. So, and you can do all that simultaneous, which is pretty cool. The Instagram isn't quite as seamless. You have to like set up your stream in Instagram and then go back to Instagram and make you sure you click the go live button. That's why if you watch my last video, I'm like, I don't know which Instagram I'm on because you can't tell by the time you click all these buttons and stuff. So
Okay.
anyhow, I think I've set that up a little better this week.
Okay.
But yeah, so StreamYard now you can go live on 3 platforms for 20 something. I got
From
bamboozled into paying.
20 something a month.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got bamboozled into upgrading because anyway, that's a whole nother situation. So I ended up paying $50 a month. They allow you to stream 8 platforms at once.
Oh,
And
wow.
and you can have 2 cameras if you pay $50 a month.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
And
if you do the $20, how many people can you have on the live with you? I think you have
I don't
four, right?
there's 3 of us, but I think you can have up to 10, and I think you can I'm not sure if that applies to the $20, but I think it does. I think you can have up to 10 people on with you at a time.
Hmm.
And you can also do webinars as well.
Okay.
Um, it's pretty cool. I like it. You can actually record something and don't have to go live.
Okay.
I like all their little tools. I don't. You saw how I got the names. Everybody had their little name and headline set up. Did you notice that? So that's all part of Streamyard. You can have background video.
Yeah.
You can have background music. You can have all kinds of stuff. It's
So
pretty
y'all,
cool.
that might be the next level. I'm learning, right? I'm learning because
That
Stacie
way
has
you.
been. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. That way you can go live on everything and
Yeah.
all at once.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. I love that because the I build up my audience over on Instagram, and that's the social media avenue venue that I'm most comfortable. And moving over here to YouTube, I'm trying to build everything up. So quick note, y'all share this live. So while you're in here, share this, bring some more people in. We got about 31 people right now, which is amazing. So thank y'all for popping in. But share it. And then afterwards, make sure, right? Hold on. Do we need to put the theme song back on again?
Yep.
Like,
We
hey.
got 31.
um, excuse me. But yeah, and if you're catching the replay, share the video. If you're watching live, I think you guys already know if you're part of the normal SMS crew, you probably already have your notebook. If not, you can go to BzyPeach.com and go ahead and get it. But in the meantime, make sure you have a piece of paper and a pen with you because we always drop knowledge when we're talking on Saturday mornings. So
Yes.
we've been dropping a lot of stuff, right? We got some dates. I got a page full already. We've got dates for the events. We've got social media streaming tips. So make sure you have your pen and your paper ready. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
so yeah, so that's amazing. Yeah, because I think you were the first person that told me about, was it Later that you were using at the time for
Um,
scheduling stuff?
in the beginning, it was if this then that.
Oh,
It was that first.
yeah.
And then now I use Later. If has become different, and I'm not sure. I can't remember what their connection with Instagram was. Instagram is the one. It's the one that don't like to do nothing with
Nothing.
nobody, and it's like, okay, listen.
Right.
So my thing was to try to find something that would post to Instagram,
Yeah.
and Later does that. So I use Later now, when I do use it, when they're just
Mhm.
not raping me for the money and I'm not doing nothing in return. But Later Later
Right.
is a really good tool. Later allows you to post schedule posts for Facebook,
Hmm.
Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest,
Hmm.
X, and LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and TikTok too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a really cool tool, and I find that it seems like when the posts come through Later, I get more views on them as opposed to posting
Hmm.
natively. But I'm not sure if that's really the truth or not. But I feel like it is. It seems like it is. I need to
Okay.
do a little bit more analysis on that. Um,
Yeah, I
so-
I I tried the IFFFFFT or IFTTT, whatever it was, right?
right.
And I did like it for a while, but like you said, I think it just Instagram didn't want to play nice with it.
Yeah.
And so it
Yeah.
just was like, so I ended up having to let it go. And then I think they dropped Twitter or X at a certain point as well, if I'm not mistaken.
It's
So
some. Yeah.
yeah, it just became, it just wasn't worth it. So yeah, I left that. I still haven't really gotten into Later, but that's definitely something to consider. One thing I have started using, and I don't know if you've seen this or used this, is mini chat. Have you started using that?
Mm-mm. No, I
So
haven't seen that. Is that?
okay, so mini chat, MANY chat.
Oh, okay.
Um
I'm thinking
like
MINI.
yeah, no, like multiple, like, lots of them. MANY chat. It's a website or app that will let you set up automations. So have you ever been, I did it on one of my reels, but have you ever been to like someone's Instagram and they're like, hey, comment the word so and so below and I'll send you, this information.
Hmm, hmm.
And so mini chat is the tool that does it automatically. So those folks aren't sitting there going, oh, Stacie commented Shenanigans. And so let me go send her the link to sign up for Shenanigans. The mini chat does it automatically.
Oh,
So it catches the keyword in the Instagram comments, and then you can set it up to perform a next action. And so
okay.
yeah, so if you are on a couple of my Instagram posts, you can type the word guest in the comments and it will automatically send you in messages a DM that says, hey, thanks for your interest in being a Shenanigans guest. Here's the link to sign up.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. Hold on. Let me
Girl,
type that in.
yes, because that'll drive people to your website, which we want. You can set up all kinds of stuff. And I've only done the free version. I think you could do like a paid version, but
Yeah, okay.
it's pretty cool.
I got it up now. Got it right up right now. I'm about to look at
Gosh,
that
look,
today.
I was able to teach the teacher something. Oh,
Yes, absolutely. The teacher becomes the student. Um, I wanted to say to you too, the information you gave out last week was really awesome, and I hope people really took it to heart what you were teaching about, like the branding and the color schemes and the RGB and the CMYK stuff. Like all of that is
yeah,
necessary information that needs
yeah,
to be known. And I
yeah.
want to throw one last thing in there. I don't know if you touched on it. don't have your logos have entirely too many colors because
So I actually touch on that in the workbook itself.
okay.
So some of the tips that I shared last week, as well as quite a few others, I put together in a PowerPoint workbook. So if you're comfortable using PowerPoint, then go ahead and look at it. It's only $10 right now. It's about 15 pages, and it kind of walks you through that. And so that's one of the things that's in there. So I'll give you one other little tip about it, and then the rest of it, y'all gonna have to buy it to
Yes,
get the rest.
right.
But yes, so logos, that's important. Um, how many do you know how many logos you should have? How many different versions of your logo you should have?
When you say versions, you mean like layout or like file
Mhm.
type? Like
Layout.
like you should probably, I don't know how many, but you need a vertical one or horizontal one.
Mhm.
um, just different versions for the different types of devices we have. I know too. They need
Yeah.
to all be responsive in some type of way. I know I have a um like for Strands Fiber Arts Fashion, I have one that goes that's stacked, and then one that's in line, and then one that
Mhm.
just has just the strands part without the fiber arts fashion. Just I do have a few, but I don't know how many. So tell me, tell me, wise, how many?
Well, we're gonna ask the people that are listening to participate. How many did y'all count? How many she said so far? Did you take count of that? So Yolanda is saying black and white,
Oh
grayscale, and
yes.
color. Okay, yep, for
Mhm.
the logos as well. I agreed. So you need a horizontal, you need a vertical, right? So vertical up and down, taller than wider, right? And then horizontal being wider versus taller. So that's two that you need at least. Hold on, let me pull up. And I'm gonna tell you, you can have more, but I recommend that you start off with at least seven.
7. Okay.
At least, yes. So horizontal, vertical, you need a square,
Yes.
right?
Mm.
And that square should also be able to fit within a circle, right? Because most
Right.
of our profile pictures are
Yep.
circular, right?
Yep.
So just like in you guys are in the comments, you can see everybody's, either people have their face or they have their image. So heiress to the thread, which is Kimora, you can see her logo, in her picture, but you got to format it within a square, but then make sure it'll show up in the circle as well.
Mm-hmm.
um I also say you need one that's icon heavy. So if you have a particular icon, so for me, y'all know it's the peach with the crochet hooks. So I have a version that's just that, if I need a simple representation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and building my brand, you guys should know, if you see that peach with the 3 crochet hooks, who is that? It's your girl,
Right.
right? Then I recommend one that is word heavy. So meaning you only have the words, right? So in your case with strands, that's kind of both, right? You can, like, strands is the actual like icon
Mm-hmm.
as well as the wording, right? But then
Right.
you could have one that has strands and then fiber arts fashion, right?
Mm. Correct.
Then I also recommend that you have black and white. Yolanda mentioned grayscale, which is true, and then reverse color. So, if you are posting and the place where you're posting has a white background or requires you to have a white background, you can have your color or black. But if it's a black background or a dark background, then you
Yep.
want your brand to be in the opposite so that it stands out.
Yes, I have that issue with fiber arts fashion because it's usually white. So, but when I go to a white background, I need it in gray or black. So, yes, I
Yeah.
have that version as well. And what about the PNG and the JPEG?
So I
Do you
didn't
talk
go
about?
into that yet. That'll probably be in volume 2 when we get a little bit more advanced. But you need different file types for
Right.
sure.
You need that PNG so that it doesn't have a background.
Hmm.
You need a background list. If anything, have the PNG more so than the JPEG because you can add the background better than you can take it off.
Yes.
So The JPEG will always come with a background, but the PNG will not. And that PNG is totally important.
Yeah, yeah,
Crucial.
absolutely. And
So
if
anyway.
you're using a tool like Canva, I think I mentioned that before, and I might have learned that from you too. I think you maybe were using Canva also, right?
Yo, yeah, I love Canva. That's my go-to tool now.
I think I got that. I think I learned about that from you. So,
These were made in Canva.
yes, Canva is the ooh, I'm in that
It's the
thing it
truth.
just about as much as I'm in it on Instagram. um
Right.
but the great thing about Canva is you can download your images and your files that you create as a .png, either on your phone, on the laptop, wherever it is. So you can
Yeah.
tell it if you want a transparent background or not. You can do a JPEG, you can do video, you can do so many
Yeah.
different formats. So
And you can remove backgrounds in Canva too. So
yes,
that's another, like, their background removing feature is freaking amazing. I
it's
was like,
mm,
okay. And mind you, I used to use Adobe Photo. I'm an Adobe girl. Like, I have the whole entire Adobe suite. I have Photoshop, I have
mhm,
Illustrator, I have the whole line.
mhm,
I don't even use that unless I'm making an original logo, like, so that it's in vector, so that it can be sized different ways.
mhm,
That's another thing. You have to have different resolutions as well of
mm,
logos. Um, but I don't even use those tools. I use Canva, like, and I have the video program, but Canva does everything. Like, and they get better and better and better as they go along. Like, it's
yes.
an awesome tool. For free, it is amazing, and even their paid is pretty cool too. So
So
yeah.
here's a quick tip. I did the paid version, the pro version.
Hmm.
It's absolutely worth it.
Yes,
But
it is.
I ended up with a full year free because I participate in their design challenge.
Oh,
Do you
really?
get the emails from them?
I don't be reading emails, but I
I
guess I
know.
should.
We get so many, but they have every now and I think it's monthly or every so often they do a design challenge. And
Hmm.
it'll have a certain theme to it. And so you can participate. I'm not guaranteeing that you're gonna win. They're not gonna guarantee that you're gonna win, but they'll give you the parameters. And let me see. I think I can tell you what this one is. This one is that's currently going. Um, and you post it on your Instagram. You have to have a public page, and you can be in the running to win. So let me give you an example. So today, this design challenge is good from the 14th through the 21st. You can, and it's visualize your team's process with a diagram. So what they're
Oh.
saying is like if you create a diagram in Canva, you
Hmm.
post it on your design a process diagram poster using Canva templates and elements. Make sure to design something completely original. Second step, share your design on Instagram or X with the hashtag Canva Design Challenge and tag at Canva. And it says we can only view public accounts. And it says they'll showcase their favorite designs and give up to 5 winners a 6-month subscription to Canva Pro and a $50 credit for Canva Print, subject to availability.
Oh, I'm glad to know this, ma'am. I'm about to be on that. That's going to help me and challenge me and make me better too. So, yeah, thank you for that tip.
Yeah,
I'm
so I did one last year that was the challenge was design a Zoom background. So
Mhm.
I created, and you guys can still see it on X. It's also on my Instagram. It's kind of far down, but if you go to X, you'll probably see it a lot faster. And it just has a peach background, and then I found lots of little like yarn logos, and I kind of not logos, but icons, and kind of arranged them like around the edges. So if I
Mhm.
used it as a Zoom background, you would see my face, you would have a peach background, and then you'd have a couple of like
Ah.
yarny things so on the side. So it was still branded, right, for
Mhm.
me, but it was a
Right.
fun Zoom background. And I posted it, and you can download it. Anybody can download it and use it.
Ah,
But I
okay.
ended up winning, and so then they gave me a year's worth of, Canva. Girl,
Nice. I know
it
you felt all happy and
I
stuff.
was like, "I won, yes!" So I held on to that because I had already paid for the year, and when my
Mhm.
year was up, they send you that email, "We're about to renew, your pro."
Mhm.
I was like, "Pause, hold please." Here's my little code that you sent me. It's
Right,
free.
right. Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, I'm about to be on that. I'm gonna make sure I look into that.
Yes. So
Oh,
try it. I'm gonna send you, I'll send, since I got your I'm gonna send it to you on um
Facebook, Instagram, Messenger. What you gonna send
that's
it to me? That's it.
I'll text I'm gonna text it to you, girl.
Okay, there you go. There
My
you go.
brain just went bloop. Okay. Well, we were
That's that.
supposed to be getting into something else. Okay.
Oh, we were
So
supposed to talk about the knitters.
yeah, okay. So this is the listen. Okay. You were saying second class citizen as a crocheter, right? Like, what has
Hmm.
your experience been with that? What made you make that statement? And I'll share mine too.
Um. Okay. Well, in the past, just going to yarn stores and trying to get yarn and like they have knitters have a tendency to use like what weight is that, lace weight or one weight yarns,
Okay.
and not being able to get them and having the people at the yarn store be like, oh, like, oh, you crochet, like, it's like,
Mm,
okay, well, all right, then it's like that, okay, and then just not seeing crochet books even available or patterns available when you go to these stores. You don't see none of that. And even at like Hobby Lobbies or Michaels and all that, just the amount of crochet books that there or crochet magazines that there are and publications was a lot less than the knitting. So,
yeah.
well, what's the deal here? So, and I've just even had knitters just like, kind of turn their nose up when they find out you crochet. Like,
Yeah.
for real? That's what we're doing.
Right.
Like, but
Right.
I can make a circle easy. You can't. So,
Oh, oh, don't. No.
so anyway, even though I can knit, but I prefer crocheting. I don't know why. Knitting is just, yeah, it's just too tedious. I can't.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so it's interesting. Yeah. It is interesting. And I'd be interested to see if the folks who share in the comments some of their experience, those folks who are either, strictly crochet or who crochet and knit, are there times that you've kind of felt like that, like you've been made to feel like I'm a second class citizen because I crochet. Um, and for me, knitting, like my challenge with knitting is the tactile situation. So to me, knitting doesn't feel as stable, and that's
mm,
also why I've had to acknowledge that I don't necessarily prefer to do Tunisian, because when you're holding the Tunisian hook, or you're holding a specifically Tunisian hook, or you're holding knitting needles, when you're working, the work that you're creating is actually in your hand, right?
mm-hmm,
Or
mm-hmm,
on your hand, depending on how you hold your needles or your Tunisian hook. And to me, that doesn't feel stable. Also with
mm-hmm.
knitting, because I'm not that proficient in it. Boy, if you drop a stitch, that's a live stitch.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm
Like, you can't.
clumsy.
Right. Like, you can't drop a stitch in crochet. You can be like, okay, I can pick that back up, or I can do something to fix that.
Yeah,
It
or
ain't
if you realize you skip a stitch, or need to add, you've got to like go down the row in knitting to pick it back up, or
happening. Like,
ma'am.
I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, but to me, it just doesn't feel stable. And I'm a tight crocheter. Like I crochet tight, tight, tight. So,
Mhm.
and the way I hold my hook, I feel the hook in my hand. So, I don't have a hook in front of me, which is crazy, but I hold my crochet hook like this when I work. So for me, feeling the
Mhm.
actual live work on the knitting needle in my hand, it slides around, and then I'll drop a stitch. Child.
Yeah. Um, I was just looking at one of the comments.
Mhm.
Whitney says it's stupid from a marketing perspective and sales perspective. I'm assuming she's talking about the
Yarn.
crochet stores, yeah, and
Mhm.
the yarn stores. Right,
Yes.
because yeah, that is the thing about crocheting. We do use a lot
We use them.
of yarn, knitting does.
And don't do
But
a bobble or a bee stitch. Those are
uh,
yarn.
Yeah.
monsters.
And so is single crochet. Like I ain't doing well. I guess I don't know. I guess I have to think about single crochet because it just takes so long to work up. I
It
guess I
does,
could
but
be.
it uses it depends. It uses there was some video. I mean, I have to find it. Somebody did a comparison on like which stitch uses the most yarn.
Hmm.
Like between single HDC and DC.
Uh-huh.
And most or less or something. But yeah, it was kind of interesting. I'll have to find that.
Yeah, find that, and I might do that same little test too. That'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
that's
So,
good content. Listen, that's good content.
yeah, it
And we'll
is.
have some brown hands showing it. That's a whole nother thing too. um, let's see. Hera says she made a 5x8 blanket using the garter stitch, over 34,000 stitches, and you didn't miss one. Girl, you are
Man,
that's amazing.
right?
That's amazing. Whoo, child.
What size needles is that? Like, oh
I
my goodness,
know.
could you imagine knitting that?
Yeah,
No
look,
way.
and okay, Izzy over here throwing shade. I know she does both too, but
Which,
she says knitters still need a crochet hook for some techniques. That's true. Look,
yeah,
we don't
see.
really need a knitting needle, but y'all do need that hook every now and then. But it's all good, y'all. Don't take any of this too seriously.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
love all of our
I'm just,
knitters for
yes.
sure, but it's definitely something because yeah, I've had that experience too. Like when you walk into a yarn shop or, and they're like, oh, what are you making? Oh, I'm doing this. Well, do you knit or crochet? I crochet. Oh, what's the O? Like, why? As a yarn dyer, I love my crochet artists because they buy more yarn. So yarn stores should like the crochet artists more because if they've walked in and you can get them, they'll spend more money in your shop. Now, usually yarn
Okay,
shops are
because
more you could, some of the yarn can be more expensive if it's like, hand dyed.
what you mean some of the yarn can be more expensive? All of the yarn is more expensive.
Okay, so yes, like my hand dyed yarn is expensive, right? Because you got to pay for my time and my energy and my yeah,
You
because
got some colors,
yeah,
yeah.
because we can't mass produce it, so we have to like account for the overhead and our time and all of that stuff. And nine
Yep.
times out of 10, even when you're buying hand dyed yarn, sometimes that yarn dyer is not necessarily putting in everything in their cost of goods, like their time. It would
Oh,
just make it cost prohibitive.
oh yeah, like us crocheting. Period. Like if I tried to charge you my hourly rate that I get paid for what I really do, yeah, I would be more. I would be. It would be Prada levels, even higher than that. So
Hello.
I get it. Totally, I get it. You're the one who showed me that zodiac yarn at the yarn store we met at, right? You
Yes.
okay? So I bought
Or
two of those skeins of Pisces yarn. I'm
yes.
about to go up there today and buy two more because I don't have enough for what I'm making. And you know that yarn is like $17 a skein, right?
Which is cheap, girl.
It's not cheap.
It ain't red heart, but it ain't this either.
It's not. It's not. It's not. And that's wool too. So,
Yeah.
but it's so pretty. I have to get
It
it. So
is. It is. And we're talking about Malabrigo. That's like a big one,
yeah,
in a lot of yarn shops because to be able to get a large quantity of it, you're paying about 17, $18 a skein, sometimes $15 a skein. Whereas like if you're buying mine, you're paying 30 a skein, right? So it's a big difference, but really just depends.
yeah.
17 a skein for wool, that's cheap. Yeah, it is, but it again, it's mass produced. And
Right.
so that's the difference. It really depends on what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a hand dye, you're going to get variations in color. It's going to have a different texture and a feel to it, versus commercially made, depends on what you want. But
Right.
I
Yes.
love
He
my
said
crocheters.
that's
Mhm.
cheap. Oh my goodness. I guess it might be cheap if you're knitting. So, like, I don't know because the price point of this piece that I'm making is about to be ridiculous because
Right.
I'm gonna be at four skeins at $17. Yeah, that's $80 off the top,
Right.
off rip.
Right.
That's just cost. That don't
And
include nothing else.
right,
So,
time. Yeah, exactly.
so
Exactly. Time and technique,
yeah.
etc. So, yeah. Oh, and Ashley is correct. She says a hand spun gets even more expensive. Yes, because it's hand dyed and hand spun. So then it's really expensive. But then you have a piece that no one else is going to have. It's unique.
Yeah.
It's a piece of work. It's a piece of art. Not that everything else isn't, but it really just depends on what your goal is and what you want to do. So there's a yarn for everybody. There's a yarn for everybody. There's a yarn for every product. So yeah.
Yeah.
But as crocheters, yeah, it's interesting. To have to say sometimes like we crochet too, right? There was like that whole hashtag back in 2019 because it's like, or we knit too as Black people, like, yeah, we do fiber arts just like everybody else does. And sometimes we do a little bit better. We add a little bit extra flavor and flair, but
Mm.
whatever the case may be. But yeah, crocheters, we're not second class citizens. We do it
We
with one hook where y'all need like 2 and 3 and 4 needles, but we can work it out in one hook.
we can
Oh,
work it out in one hook, baby. Um,
yes,
but
right.
yeah, I
Let me.
know. And it's funny because we aren't second class citizens really at all anymore. Like the crochet world has, I don't know where all these folks came from, but especially us. Like we don't even need to filter outside of us at all to enjoy all that
Yeah,
there needs to be enjoyed. So
yeah,
I love it. I'm glad that we are getting our recognition and our just
yeah.
desserts more and
Over
more.
on TikTok, it's a lot of Black crocheters. If I see a brown hand and it's crocheting, I follow. I'm following as many Black crocheters as I can, and it's a ton of us out there.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love to see it, and the creativity is amazing. The designing is amazing. So yeah, don't count out crochet because there's a lot to it. And the look and the feel of it can be just as refined as knitting, right?
Well, what's even better is that it's been made by hand. With knitting, it can't
Yeah.
be machine made. So.
Girl, listen, okay, quick story. This was one of the times that I got kicked out of a Facebook group. I keep getting kicked out of Facebook groups because
Me too.
I don't like to follow the rules and I say stuff. And I got into an argument with this girl about, they're like, yeah, there's a crochet machine. So people, there is no such thing as a crochet machine. Crochet cannot be done by a machine.
Right.
It has not to date yet been done. And this girl kept saying, yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I said, show me the machine. Point me to the link. Tell me where it is. Because I've researched, I've checked. Now, that doesn't mean that I know everything. I absolutely do not. But I was like, I look. There,
Hmm.
I have yet to see that.
Yeah, there's a machine that mimics what crochet possibly looks like, but it's still not.
It's still not crocheted.
It's not crocheting.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And so, that's a whole conversation that, pops up on social media, especially now because it's been so popular. We were in Target last night and there were some cute little crochet tops.
You saw them too, the striped ones for the little girls, or were they the
Yes.
women's? Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
those. I was like, at first they look crochet, but then when you get up on it, it's like, oh, that's not crochet.
Yeah. So I didn't even go. I just kind of saw from a distance. But you can,
Oh,
you've gone into some stores and you could see in it like it really is crochet. Don't buy
mhm.
that, y'all. Do not buy it because y'all know if you buy a whole crochet top and it's like $10-15, somebody got exploited to make that.
Or it's gonna fall apart. And no, and it's gonna fall apart.
And but somebody got exploited to make that. They
Yep,
did not
indeed.
get paid what they should have been paid to crochet that garment.
Right.
In order for the retailer to sell it at $10-15, how much did they buy it from the wholesaler? How much did they pay the worker? Don't
Right.
buy it. Mm-mm. Don't do it.
Right.
Come see us.
Don't.
Come see us. We'll point you in the direction of some folks.
And you know what's funny to me is people who will spend money on like bags and whatever, and then they frown their nose up at you charging the same amount for some work that you actually did
That's a
yourself.
whole yes.
Isn't that wild? It's like, but
You're
gotta.
gonna pay muy muy for those. You've seen all the muy muy stuff, MUI or MIU. What
I
is it?
know who they are, but I haven't seen it lately. They have some crochet stuff.
Yeah, and I think right now there's this whole scrappy hat thing going on.
Oh, girl.
Tell about it. Tell them about it.
I don't know. I feel like, never mind. I'm gonna leave. Never mind.
So look, there's a whole thing. It's Supreme hand tied beanie, right? I'm gonna show
Uh-huh.
y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. And if you go on Instagram or well, really more so on Facebook and TikTok, you'll
Mm-hmm.
see people replicating this. So this is the beanie,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's by Supreme. And it is two yarns held together and some sprigs hanging out here and there, what have you. Um, and they're selling it for I don't know what is it, 150, I think was the original price. The crochet girlie said, I can make that cheaper. And so then they've made it and they've been selling it cheaper. Why not sell it at the same price? Because people say, well, what? Like what you said, why am I going to pay you 150 for it? Why not?
Right.
So that's a whole nother conversation about how we price our stuff and what it does to the overall industry.
Yes. Indeed.
I don't know if we have time to go into all of that today because you got a show at 11:30, and that requires a couple of hours, I believe.
Yeah. I'd be so
Um,
mad when I see people pricing stuff so low. It's like, listen, stop that.
yeah, because the hard thing about it is that for folks who are trying to do this as a business, support themselves, live off of making this art, these products, it hurts. It hurts, the community as a whole. So, but yeah, that's I think a longer conversation. You'll have to come back for that one. We'll have to
Yeah.
start.
Anytime.
We'll have to
Anytime
start
you
off.
want me, I'd be happy to come
Oh,
back.
anytime, anytime. Listen, you got the link now. Go sign up. Anytime you want to pop back on, sign up. If it's
Okay.
free, you can come on. I'm trying to find this other stuff from Muy Muy. They had a lot of stuff last year, which was kind of scrappy. I think that's why um Supreme came up with this scrappy hat because the Muy Muy stuff, and I don't know if I'm saying it properly. So
I think it's Mew Mew.
Mew Mew. Oh yeah.
Mew.
Here we
Yeah.
go. Yes, Mew Mew. They had a lot of stuff. That let me see if I can pull it up. Super cute, but our crochet friends can knock this out
Oh,
of
yeah.
the park.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so they using this like scrappy technique, half double crochet. Like I can tell that just from looking at it on the screen.
Right.
It's just half double crochet in just multiple colors, and you just make it work. Our girls have been over there just knocking this stuff out the park. They're like, we ain't paying y'all, pay us.
Right.
But yeah, it's taken off. I mean, I think it's having a revival, and I think we're part of that because we add flavor, we add color,
We
and
add pizzazz.
yes.
But I'm gonna say this: I ain't noticed no scrappy like hanging strings. Do you have my Strands magazine from last Strands show? Do you have one? Did you get one?
I do, but
I want you just to look at what I got on the cover, and then
okay.
we'll talk about it later. If you know that's an unfinished piece that I'm
Okay.
wearing that was
Okay.
done over a year or two ago, and then all
Oh,
of a sudden I'm seeing scragglies hanging out everywhere. Like, really? Okay.
yeah. Right, like I did that. We did that ages ago. But see, that's the thing. Like we do it and then they start picking it up in, in mainstream, and it's like, okay. So
Yeah.
yeah. But
Mm.
yeah, yeah, I'll have to pull it up. I do. I have my
Yeah.
little shelf over there that has all my memorabilia. So all of that is
Um,
scrap yarn. Yeah, it is. That's so low for something that takes more than an hour to make. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so crochet, y'all. We're not second class citizens.
nope, we
So
are
if
not.
anyone makes you feel that way, that's not the space for you to be in.
Right.
You need to come and hang out with folks like us. You need to make sure that you come over to the fashion show. Make sure that you come onto our Instagrams, YouTubes, check out all of those things, because yeah, there's a whole community of folks.
Yes, there is.
And finding people online and then meeting in person, like it's an amazing thing. So that's one of the things that has led me, I think, to success in my business, as well as finding a whole community of friends, is finding you guys online, coming out to Hookers Night Out, and all of those things just has just led to a lot of greatness.
Yes, and I love to see the friendships that have been cultivated from events that I've put together. I think it's actually kind of cool. Like
Yes.
you guys all like hang out with each other now.
Yes. Yeah.
From
Oh, yes. Because Stacie came over to the Craftivist. La- was it
two
last
weeks,
Saturday? 2 weeks ago.
no, just
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. We popped up. We hung out. There were maybe what, 8, 9 of us. I don't even know. So that was amazing. Every so often we'll just pop up over there and just hang out.
yeah,
And
which is cool. So y'all got to let me know next time you do that. I enjoyed myself. I'm about to go over there today to go get some more yarn.
yes,
To
yes. Take some flyers and see if Jennifer will put them
oh,
up.
yeah, that's what I had asked her last time. Excuse me. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
do that today as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right. So, anything else that people need to know? Like, what else do we need to know about you? Fiber Arts Fashion, Strands, Pink Joy Crochet. What do we need to know?
Um, just that the show is coming up March 24th at the Southwest Arts Center. It would be awesome if y'all could attend. If anyone wants to vend, I have vendor space available for Saturday, the 23rd and the 24th. I have reasonable vendor fees. So I only take artisans that hand make their stuff. So handmade yarn, whatever. It doesn't have to
Hmm.
just be yarn based, but it's much help. It's more beneficial for
Yeah,
them.
right, right. Or
Um,
adjacent, yarn adjacent. I think I got
correct.
some good soaps and hand creams from a young lady
Yeah.
when I went the last time, which is great because as fiber artists, we got to keep hydrated. So
Yes. I do.
yeah, everybody that was there and vended the last time was amazing. So yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I love my artisans. We'll be having the Cake Man come back, Derek the Cake Man. If you got last year he made a signature cake for the event. I'm working on getting the amaretto one this year. We'll see what happens. I love amaretto sours, so we'll see.
Oh,
um,
yes.
so yeah, come out on the 16th. We have again the reception for the exhibit. Come see the exhibit March 11th through the 25th.
Hmm.
And come to the show, please. Just come.
Yes.
And follow Fiber Arts Fashion, follow Pink Joy Crochets on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter,
Yes.
or X, whatever you
X.
want to call it nowadays. And I guess that's it. Come watch me in about 20 minutes interview the
Yes.
Double Stitch Twins and Rhonda Davis of Plush Funk for the Strands Meet the Designer series. Also, I will be participating in the Sweet Auburn Music Festival in September. That'll be another that I call that Strands Fall. So
Okay. Where
um,
where is that located?
the Sweet Auburn Music Festival is in September and it's in Atlanta. It used to be on Auburn Street, but it's on Irvin, the
Oh,
street
okay.
right behind. It's a 2-day festival, so we'll be out there showcasing some designs to a whole huge crowd of people.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, and then Follow Fiber Arts Fashion to stay up to date on when I have Hookers Nights Out
Mm-hmm.
coming up. And I have a whole line called The Hooker Life too, which is a bunch of raunchy stuff, for us crochet designer.
You have to go take a look at some of my t-shirts. I have a couple that are like close to the edge. So my hashtag crochet sexy shirt says whips and chains.
Oh goodness, yes.
So we gotta
I
get
have,
you one of those.
yes, ma'am. I have a bag that says thumbs, throats, and shafts,
Oh,
which are all parts of a crochet hook. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it can get a little
oh
interesting.
gosh, the names, the pieces of a crochet hook, they have
Yeah.
so many. There's so many names. There's the lip. There's the head. There's all kinds of stuff
Yeah,
to
we
play with.
talking about crochet, y'all. We're talking about crochet. I promise you. But yes, it can get funny. It can
Yes.
definitely get funny. So yeah, absolutely. Oh, look, Ola Joe is on it. Meet the Designers Live. Hold on, let me pin this comment because Ola Joe, thank you, darling. You are doing it. And thank you to all my moderators for kicking out all the craziness and keeping this live peachy, as we love to say in this corner of the fiber arts world. So but Ola Joe posted the link to Stacie's live that's going to start at 11:30. So we still have a few more things to do over here. Stacie, are you good to hang on and listen to those, or do you need to drop and get ready for yours?
I need to drop. Well,
Okay.
I can listen as long as you
Okay.
don't mind being focused on setting up.
Good.
So I got to get these Instagram streams up and ready to go.
Oh,
So
girl, did listen for sure. Because listen, that's how the shenanigans do. So, a couple of things I want to do. I want to talk about, and this is, our mutual friend that you dropped, that you introduced me to, and she didn't know I was going to do this, but hopefully she's still in the comments. Iwan Stone Flowers. You can find her on Instagram, and Facebook, etc. But she is my pattern of the week, and so hopefully she's pleasantly surprised. Um,
that's
but I wanted,
nice.
huh?
I said, that's nice.
Yeah, so this is made from tinsel. And this is one of those pieces that when I have it at the shows, I have it hung up and displayed in the booth. And so many people are like, oh, that's gorgeous. It's amazing. And that's crocheted, is the first thing they say. Yes. Oh, there she is. She's in the comments. So they're like, that's crocheted. I'm like, yeah. They're like, the whole thing. I'm like, absolutely. So they think that it's a knitted
Mhm.
piece. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But the other pattern is a knit pattern. So this shawl, Mama Fran, who is Knit Pearl Inspired and More on Instagram, she knitted this sample out of my 50% tinsel, 50% wool blend. So it
Ooh.
is super soft. You can see it's nice and drapey. And this one is Moving to the Country Shawl. And like I said, it was 50% tinsel, 50% superwash merino wool, worked up by Fran Brantley. I I have it posted in my Ravelry under my show samples favorites, just so you can see. But this one is knitted. And so if you're looking for a shawl to knit, this is a beautiful, gorgeous one. It works very well with my yarn. You can also use the tinsel for this. You can use the wool. It really just depends on the weight and the feel that you wish. But it works with all of the BzyPeach yarns. And so in this case, I did two custom dyes. This is my African Velvet Tamarind colorway. And then this gray was a little bit darker. She wanted a darker contrast. So we did a custom one. And Stacie's going to have custom yarn for me as well at Strands. So if you want a colorway that you've never had before, you'll get a mini of mine at Strands.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Um,
I would like to say, remember, I wanted to point out that you did that for me in 2020, was it? The custom colorways.
yeah, yes,
Yes, they were nice.
absolutely.
So, yes, be on the
So that's
lookout
kind.
for those.
Yes. So this is your knit pattern of the week. Moving to the Country Shawl. You can find it on Ravelry. Again, I apologize. I don't know the designer's name. Actually, I should probably just look it up and not be lazy. So I'm going to pull it up on my laptop while I am shifting gears for a second. And all of these, the folks that we're talking about, are not paid promotions. I'm just sharing this with you. But if you know folks that are interested in, having their work or their items featured here on Shenanigans, just reach out to me and let me know. But let me Ola Joe, you're on it, babes. So she's got the link to my favorites all the way already out there. And let me tell you who the designer of this one is. So this one is in my bundle called BzyPeach Booth Samples. And it is the Moving to the Country shawl. And it was created by Christy Houghton, Houghton. Moving to the Country shawl by Christy Houghton. Okay, so that's your knit one. We're inclusive, knitters and crocheters. But I do have favorites.
Right.
So this is one of my absolute favorites. And it gets lots and lots of attention at the shows. I always make sure I display this. I feel like Yolanda should have this one at the Fiber Arts place, but I will let her you know have that conversation, but I think it deserves to be displayed. um and so this one is Greta's Piece of Serenity shawl. It's made out of 100% tinsel, so the drape is insane.
Mm.
It's 4 different colorways. So this one is Blue Velvet Cake, Belle of Georgia Peach, Chihuro Asian Pear, and Black Diamond Apple. So in other words, black, orange, peach, and a teal colorway. And it feels amazing. It's huge. It is longer than my wingspan. And so it wraps around beautifully. It's got a nice sheen to it. So definitely go and check this one out. So you want to make sure that you go to iStone Flowers. Yolanda, you have this in your link tree, I believe, on Instagram. I'm going to pull this up real quick so I can tell y'all where to go and find this. But Yolanda is here in Atlanta. She is local. She designs, she crochets, she is just an amazing designer. So I'm excited to see more coming from her. Um, but let me tell you where you can find.
Hi, Yolanda. I forgot to say hi.
Exactly, right. Let's see. One second. And okay, so if you go to Instagram, you want to follow her. iStone Flowers. EYE.
Hi, y'all. Can y'all hear?
STONE Flowers. That's okay. Listen, why don't you drop so you can test
Yes.
and get ready? I'm
Yes,
so
ma'am.
glad you joined me. And
Thank you for
y'all,
having me.
oh yeah, we're gonna hop over to yours as soon as we're done over here. So I'm gonna
Okay.
make sure we finish up so people have time to go take a quick break, get a snack, and then pop into your live.
All right. Thank you again for having me. I will see you soon, ma'am.
Okay.
Love
Thank you,
you.
darling. Okay.
Happy
Love you too.
hooking. Bye.
Yes, happy hooking. I love
Bye.
it. Bye. So we'll make sure that on Instagram you go over to iStone Flowers, EYESTONE Flowers, FLOWERS. Like roses, flowers. iStone Flowers. And when you click on the link in her bio, it's the first thing up there. It says Greta's Piece of Serenity shawl. It's the pattern. You can go to her page and download this. And then again, for this one, you can use any of your BzyPeach yarn, right? This one happens to be made out of the tinsel, right? 100% tinsel. So it's lightweight. It just gives you a nice little cover, especially if it's, you know, let's say you're here in Georgia and you're out and about, it's warm, but in the evening it cools off just a little bit. This is perfect just to kind of wrap around your shoulders and take the chill off. But this is it's an amazing shawl. If you're working in a heavier yarn, you know, it will give you lots of warmth and comfort, but it can be used with the 100% Pima cotton, 100% tencel. You can do it also. Another friend of mine did it in the tencel wool blend, and oh, it feels like a cloud on you. So yes, the one on your page is in right. This one is the 100% tencel in fingering slash sock weight. So like Stacie was mentioning, you know, crocheters, we use fingering weight. This is in fingering weight. But the great thing about this pattern is that you have some flexibility with the yarn. But of course, since I sell yarn, I want y'all to make it in mine, right? Okay, so check that out. So those are our two patterns of the week. Last week we focused on our shawl, on our hats. We've got two shawls for you if you're a knitter and a crocheter. So you definitely have some options, and we'll continue to do the pattern of the week. So while we're over here, let me know if there's something that you want to see featured or highlighted here on the Shenanigans Show on YouTube. You know, if it's patterns, if it's a discussion topic that you're interested in, that you think the broader audience would want to hear or participate in. If you have a guest, someone that you think would be a fabulous guest, send them the link on my page. Send them to BzyPeach.com and tell them to click on Shenanigans. And that way they can go in, tell me a little bit about themselves, and pick a date, right? Once that's done, I'll get the notification and then we'll work out what date works well for them, right? And find out a little bit more, make sure that they're a good fit for, you know, what we do over here. What that is Saturday Morning Shenanigans. It is the show where we come in and we talk fiber arts, we talk life, we talk, you know, all kinds of things. But it's called Shenanigans because something is usually going to go wrong. Now, this was a pretty smooth show, right? But if we anticipate that there'll be a problem, then when it happens, we're not surprised and shocked and stressed out, right? So we know that sometimes the shenanigans be shenaniganing on Saturday morning, and that is all okay. Um, so that's what we do over here. And like I said, if you have a topic that you want featured, you can put it in the comments. You can comment below if you're watching the replay. But please make sure you share. Someone a little bit earlier while I was talking to Stacie gave me a wish, which was a birthday wish. Yesterday was my 51st birthday. Whoop! I have made it 51 years in this life. And thank you for all of the birthday wishes that I received on Instagram, on Facebook, by text message, here in the comments. Thank you, and I appreciate it. Now, if y'all want to give me a birthday present, I got something that you could do. It's not even going to cost you anything. Help me get to 500 subscribers or help me get to 1,000. I really need to make sure that I build up this YouTube community over here. Y'all know part of my reason for moving over here from Instagram is monetization. YouTube does a great job of telling you how well you're doing, what the bar is to get to monetization. And so after each live, I take a quick screenshot and I share it with you guys. I'll post it on Instagram and YouTube as well. But if you want to get me something for my birthday, I'm just saying, you know, send me some followers. Send me some folks that will subscribe and will like and participate over here on YouTube. Um, I really like being over here. It's been a lot of fun, learning something new, learning a new platform, kind of the ins and outs, what's different about this versus Instagram. You know, I may look into StreamYard to stream simultaneously on both places, but, you know, I'm going to think about that because I really want to make sure that I can focus on the comments. And so I need to learn a little bit more. Am I going to be able to see the comments on YouTube here? And then I need to look there for Instagram comments. Are they all going to show together? So that's something that I need to research a little bit more. But, you know, it's a possibility in the future. But in the meantime, we're going to be over here on YouTube. So our special guest, Stacie Jackson from Fiber Art Fashion Strands, Fiber Art Fashion, the show that focuses on crochet and fiber arts here in Atlanta, Georgia. Excuse me, is coming up on Sunday, March the 24th. And so you definitely want to make sure that you attend. Um, if you're just popping into the live, watch the replay. I'll post everything after this. So make sure that you support. Make sure you also go like, follow, and subscribe her page as well as mine and anyone else that you've seen here in the comments. We have a new moderator that joined us, Ola Joe. Thank you so much. Izzy, Sheila, and Ashley, thank you for being on point and helping to keep this our peachy corner of the fiber arts world. So thank you again. And we're going to go so that we can take a quick break and then hop over to Stacie's live so we can meet the Double Stitch twins. So we can meet the folks that are going to be a part of the Fiber Arts Fashion Show. Okay. Thank y'all. Have a fabulous Saturday and be peachy. Love y'all. Bye.